Well, welcome back to another week. What we're going to take a look at today is the tremendous amount of propaganda that's being thrown out for gun control. We see it constantly, and of course the guys who are pro-gun, the photographs they use is a fellow who's scowling, and behind him are all these military-looking weapons. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what they are. They're military-looking. They're cosmetic. They're semi-automatic. In other words, every time you pull the trigger, a bullet flies out of the barrel. It's not several bullets fly out of the barrel every time you pull the trigger. Semi-automatic means not automatic, okay? And so these things are cosmetic. They do look like military weapons, but they are not, and they cannot be converted. But there's this, we see all of this being thrown at us, full pages in the New York Times and everything, to scare people to death that the only reason that you want this is to go out and kill people. No, you want it for self-defense. Dangerous gun myths, for instance, in the same issue. You see, I'm only looking at one issue of the paper now, and that's the kind of saturation you get whenever they have an issue that they want to convince you to believe the way they want you to believe. In this case, for gun control. The editorial, Dangerous Gun Myths. The subtitle is, "The idea that weapons make women and homes safer is wrong. The opposite is true." Well, that's not true at all. Like the Milwaukee sheriff in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has stated that everybody should own a gun to protect themselves until they can respond to your 911 call. If you don't have a gun and you pull out your phone, you get 911, too late. That's the way it is. You can't wait 20 minutes if somebody's breaking down your front door or trying to rape you or that sort of thing. You can't wait. The police want to be there, but they can't be everywhere all at once and respond to every call in a timely fashion. It's just impossible unless you're willing to have a gargantuan police presence. And then they can be everywhere. And that we don't want either. And so it's a two-pronged attack in all of this by our own government. I'm sorry to say that, but the individuals in our government have a two-pronged attack against the American people. They want to eliminate the Second Amendment. You say, oh no, you don't have any evidence for that. Well, in the practice of what they are doing and the direction they're going, if you extend the lines, you cannot come to any other conclusion. Even the state of Hawaii has passed a resolution to have a constitutional convention. Within, they want an amendment made to the Constitution that wipes out the Second Amendment, to have gun control over the U.S. citizens. It's a reality. There are people out there that want that. At the same time, they want to curtail the police, and they do that by little articles like this. In the same paper, by the way, as all these other articles, why police lie under oath. Oh, well, we're not even going to say that a few police lie. It's just all police. Why police lie under oath. And so they take a few people out of hundreds of thousands and make this image of the police that is adversarial to local police departments, because they want a national police. A government that wants a national police, that wants to control local police departments through regulation, through grant making, through providing them with weaponry and everything else, and at the same time wants to disarm the citizenry, you've got to really be concerned. But we have the sportsman, the first sportsman, Obama, shooting skeet at Camp David, and then even in the Wall Street. And by the way, this is the same issue. So you get the idea, oh, our government's going to take our guns away. Then you get to this picture of Obama and you think, oh no, he likes guns. He's shooting skeet at Camp David. He must be okay. He's a sportsman. It's all image. Obama is image. He's the teleprompter reader-in-chief. And then also in the Wall Street Journal. Same thing, only this is in color. They upgraded him in the Wall Street Journal. So what I'm saying is that you've really got to be concerned. What was the reason for the Second Amendment? It wasn't to go out and kill Bambi. It was because what started the War on Independence was that the British government was coming to disarm the citizenry. They marched out of Boston to go out to Lexington and Concord and the surrounding area and strip them of their arms. You notice I didn't say guns. I said arms, because they had cannon and everything else. The Second Amendment says arms, the right to keep and bear arms. It doesn't say guns. And the reason for that was they wanted to protect themselves from foreign invasion by forming a militia, but they also wanted to protect themselves from a draconian, dictatorial government. That's what they had just done. That is the purpose of the Second Amendment, to protect yourself not just from crime and criminals, but to protect yourself from a government that goes beyond the restraints of legality, morality, and ethics and the Constitution, in our case, of the United States. That's what it's for. Here's an editorial I found rather humorous. It was in the Wall Street Journal, ObamaCare's Broken Promises. A subtitle here says, "Every one of the main claims made for the law is turning out to be false." Well, that's true of the medical part. But you see, this is health care. What a lot of people don't realize is that health care includes medical care. Health care also includes what's up here. And that's the real danger of Obamacare, is it's health care. Everybody looks at the medical aspects of this, the costs, the services, et cetera, et cetera. They forget to notice in the other 900 pages of this law, this tremendous thick law, that it includes a lot of how you're educated, how you educate your children, relief of stress, and any number of things that affect the mind, how you think. In fact, if you've noticed a very subtle aspect of these gun control things that they're proposing through these executive orders of Obama, have a great deal to do with how you think and the mental capacity of a gun user. That is a very dangerous thing. That's what the Soviet Union used to subdue a lot of their adversaries within the population. Oh, he's against communism, he's obviously nuts, and they'd put him in a hospital and feed him full of medication and everything else till his brain got fried, and they could turn him loose into the population again. These things are real. They sound crazy, and they are crazy, but they're real. Governments do these things to people, and we can't let them get to that point. They're concerned now, apparently, about jobs that are going to disappear because of austerity programs in the government. 1 million jobs are at stake, according to this editorial in the New York Times, and yet if you read it, it's all government jobs. They're trying to save money because of new laws that the Congress passed to get rid of some of these things, and now they're saying, but you're going to put all these people out of work, and what a tremendous burden it's going to be. And I think I'm going to leave it alone except for one last thing, and that's this one in the New York Times, says, keeping artifacts from militants' clutches. In Mali, they tell us that these are militant Islamics who are going into Mali. These are the people that believe in Sharia law and enforcing the Quran to the letter. And yet here they're giving you the idea that, well, wait a minute, we've got to protect all of these Muslim artifacts from these militant Muslims. These are real old Qurans, hundreds of years old. You can't have it both ways. These people either support the Quran completely or they don't. I mean, you know, from article to article, you get these contradictions of who these people are and what their intents are, where they get their weapons, who they're backing, who they're not backing, et cetera, et cetera. It gets so confusing, you start to ignore it. All I'm saying is that you've got to really look at articles over a period of time and take a look and ask yourself, are they telling me the truth? Does this make sense this day compared to sense the next day or the next week? It's kind of an interesting science to start saving clips out of the newspaper and going back and referring to those clips in a year or so and see what they're telling you different then from what they told you before. It's, like I say, it's a very interesting thing, and you can use them to show them to your neighbors down the road to convince them that they can't believe everything they read. Till next week, we'll see you then.